And now, Bottom Split Theatre.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Bottom Split Theater. I'm your host, Michael Derby. With me as always, actually in the booth tonight, in the booth tonight are David Haynes and Alex Albert. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
G'day, pleasure to be here.
All right, well, we got the first race tonight we're doing is going to be the iRacing Street Stock Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a 20-lap race. With that, I'll let the gentlemen take over. Go ahead, guys. Give us the starting grid.
All right, so sitting on the pole tonight is Will Pope, the number 9 car. Starting beside him is going to be Isaiah Johnson, your 7 car. Both those cars coming out of the Midwest Club. On our second row will be Kevin Rosberg and Harry Stewart. Harry is the highest I rating in the field tonight, so looking for big things from him. On our third row will be Hagan Johnson and Augusto Henriquez. Following them will be Vanessa Drake and David Goodson. On the fifth row will be Scott Schinenbarger with Tristan Francis. On the sixth row will be Charlie Bates and Brennan Lyman. In the 13th position will be Timmy Rivers. And also qualifying is Ellis Forsberg. Looks like William Breland and Michael Rotondo will not be starting this race. So what are you going to be looking for tonight, David? What do you think some of the keys to winning tonight will be?
Well, it's great to have these street stocks at 1.5 mile track here, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Maybe these cars are a bit more at home on a short track, but what that'll mean is we'll have a lot of draft, maybe some pack racing. I think that'll keep the cars together, keep the excitement high as our pole sitter Will Pope takes off. It's going to be one formation lap and they will get the green next time. But I think keeping it clean, it's a 20 lap race. So the draft will hopefully keep the cars kind of close together.
Yeah, I think you I think that's a good point. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get away here. You want to bet $1 if there's any contact before the green? You got $1 on you?
I don't have a US dollar.
Well, I can spot you one, but I'm going to go with there will be contact because it is tradition. And as we saw today at the Naval Academy, tradition is important and it should be carried on. So still looking for some of these guys here at the back. Sometimes we have to wait all the way until right before the flag comes out to get contact.
Yeah, it'll be our leader, Will Pope's prerogative when he decides to take the jump at the start, and he can back the pack up a little, but that could lead to some contact pre-green if he backs the pack up more than they're expecting. Pace car pulls away, and waiting. We get the green flag and the jump from Will Pope. He holds on to the lead with Isaiah Johnson on the outside still.
Here's your $1, mate. Yep, as they start to line up, nose to tail here. Our leader, Will Pope, able to pull away just a bit. One car looking to the outside here, trying to make things spicy. They're lined up, 3 of them, nose to tail on the inside.
Goes too wide for positions 3 and 4. Isaiah Johnson, bit of the draft, closes him up into turn 3. Isaiah taking a higher line, Will Pope really getting it down to the low line. As it gets spicy now for 3rd and 4th, nearly a bump. They're side by side in the tri-oval.
Oh, this is going to get good here. There it is. 12 turns of 2. Knew that was coming. Didn't know who was going to do it.
Heavy contact for the inside wall.
Yeah, very heavy contact. Both those cars are very heavily damaged.
Don't know if we'll get a replay of that, but now Isaiah Johnson goes to the inside of Will Pope. They're too wide for the lead. Isaiah, the low line, looking very quick right now early in the race. And going high might cost Will Pope. He'll go back to 3rd place as Kevin Roberg comes through to take 2nd and challenge.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Almost got to see a replay there. It looked like the 13, the purple car, got up into the 18 a bit. Or is that... No, we don't have an 18, do we? The 16. The 13 a couple laps ago had an interesting line. In 3 and 4, I saw him go all the way up, drift up to the wall, then arc it down. They were able to get a really impressive drive off the corner and make some passes. So, oh, here we go. There goes the 3 car through the grass.
And back up front, our pole sitter Will Pope has lost another position. Now back into 4th as Harry Stewart in the 1 car, someone we had our eye on, makes his way up into 3rd. Now with a good run off turn 2. So Isaiah Johnson come a little bit low, a little bit down below the line. Didn't get a good run out of there. Now it's bumper to bumper for 1st to 4th.
Oh,
Kevin
wow.
Roberg gets to the inside. He takes the lead, but down on the low line with a good run. Still Harry Stewart comes up into 2nd. Will Pope,
Top 5 under a blanket. This is great racing, folks. This is the kind of stuff we saw the professionals doing the other night at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is amazing. This super speedway-esque drafting on a speedway 1.5 mile circuit. Now they're starting to get lined up single file here. And I was talking about them earlier. The 16 and the 13 are quick movers. They're working together. They're starting to catch on to this lead train. Now we have 5. There was 3, then 4, 5. Now we have 7.
That's the effect of the draft we see, is that whoever's in the lead, they can park it down on the low line if they can, and the high line not giving much pace. Just anyone who can keep it on the track ends up here with the lead. Oh, contact with the outside wall for 2 drivers there. On the trioval, that didn't seem necessary.
Yeah, the 7 has been sliding back since the start of the race, starting to blink now. And the 13 just followed him in there. That was a mistake. Ooh, and the 1 and the 9, a little bit of a close call. The 9 thought better of it, lifted out, let Harry have the spot. Ooh, and the 6 starting to slide up high into the corner here.
Scott Schinneberger got down to the inside apron, but that can unsettle the car. He got a bit slidey, lost his momentum, and momentum is everything, especially on a big track like this. Plenty of banking, very fast track for these kind of cars.
And I see man, this is great. Oh, and there goes Harry. Harry self-spins. Will he
hold it on the apron? No, he makes contact with the inside wall there. He might keep going, but he'll be off this lead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much his race shot there. At least he has a car to race next week, but man, that won't do him any favors.
So that number 16, Brendan Lyman, keeps it on the low line out of 3 and 4. Now onto the trioval. He's up into 2nd place. Good run looking at our current leader, Kevin Roberg. Will Pope, our pole sitter, still holding on in 3rd. Lost some positions early, but seems to be having a sensible race.
If you would have told me before this, if you would have told me before the green flag, the 16 car who's going to drive from the back to the front, gain 11 positions, and be in the lead by the halfway point, I would have said you're crazy. But you know what? It just might happen.
It was unlikely, but I am still crazy. So Brendan Lyman, I think him up 10 places at the moment. Challenging for the lead would put him up 11 places from his starting grid. Great run from him. They're 2 wide now for the lead. Will Pope sits in the popcorn position there. Hopefully being a little bit patient. He's got the low line, which will be quick through the corner. Will he get a run off it? Not sure. He sits in the draft of Kevin Roberg, and they're 2 wide still for positions 3 and 4. Will Pope tries to run up a little high. Brendan Lyman doesn't like that, but they sit there. Kevin Roberg in the lead. Will Pope, Brendan Lyman side by side. Scott Schinneberger, he's up some positions as well, sitting in 4th there. And behind them, Isaiah Johnson and David Goodson, if they can work together as one of them makes contact with the outside wall, but they aren't far off the lead. This is still, I think, about 6 cars who could take this.
Yeah, top 4's under a blanket. But we're only at the halfway point, so everything that has transpired, even more can transpire here in the second half of the race. I'm thinking that the 16 car, I guess, he can't go around him on the low side if the leader's going to block it, but it just looks like he's maybe wearing out his stuff trying to make something happen there on the high side. But maybe he knows something these other guys don't. He's a D class. They're not. So, Mr. Lyman's been around for a while. If he could just get the 6 to get up there and help him a little bit, I think they might be able to do something, but he's not going to be able to get her done by himself.
Yeah, Will Pope with a great run at Kevin Roberg there, but Brendan Lyman on the high side boxes him in and he can't go anywhere with it. That's kind of what we're seeing with this at the moment, is that the low line is quick. Oh, does he get one?
Here we go. He's going to get a fender in there.
Oh, wisely doesn't turn Kevin Roberg, even though I think you probably should have given some room to Will Pope there. They're all in a line now. Brendan Lyman was taking the high line, but now sits back behind Will Pope. Try to get a run. What will Will Pope do?
I think he should take a couple laps
Tries to
here
go to the inside, but he can't do it.
and just rest those tires. It's still so early. Right there's the front. There's nowhere to go. Oh, and here we go. The 16 car, you would think of everyone knows that you need someone to help you. He helped the 9 to the lead and then just ditched him for a second. I think they both might have cleared him if they could have stayed nose to tail down the front stretch. And there they go. Contact between the 16 and the 4. The 4 was able to keep it out of the wall mostly. Drops back to the 4th place.
That's upholstered. Will Pope gets back into the lead, but now Brennan Lyman, who's played it perfectly, gets down to the inside, and I think he'll take the lead coming off. Oh, he gets a bit too much of the apron, gets a bit slidey, but he was in the right spot.
Oh, and here we go. Will Pope. Whoa! The 6 car got turned. He's in the wall. Trying to see that. Oh, it's our leaders battle. The 4. So now we see our leader, Will Pope, starting to stretch it out a little bit here on Lyman. Lyman just got on the wall in turns 2. We see the 4 car who just turned to 6 or forced him down pit road. Here comes the 13 where it was 3, 4, up to 7, then down to 5, back to 4, then 3, and now we're working on making it a front pack of 5 again. As Lyman sets sights towards your leader, Will Pope.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're seeing with this is that whoever's leading just cannot get away. So it'll be who gets the right run in the last 2 or so laps. You just got to sit patiently until then.
Yeah, and I think that it kills your tires a little bit to ride too close in the draft. So if you can, maybe lift a little bit. Try not to force it. That way, come the last lap, you can hold it flat and hold that inside line. And then
Brendan Lyman goes to the low line on Will Pope now. He's got maybe 1 foot of overlap there. Will he hold it in on the inside? He does.
Yes, he will.
He'll come through to the lead. How long will he hold on to that? Meanwhile,
and he pushes up. This is the same thing we saw before. He pushed up. This time, the 9 was not able to dive back underneath, and the 16's able to protect the inside. I think the 4 is going to have a look going into 1.
Yeah, Kevin Roberg in the number 4, big run, gets it down underneath Will Pope, pulls into the draft of Brendan Lyman, but again, puts a wheel or 2 on the apron, and that really unsettles these cars. Oh, it's going down below the line on the back straight. We're going to go 2 wide in 2 spots here.
3
Great
wide.
run, Will
Top
Pope.
5 under a blanket. Oh, and the 4 had to lift out. That was a smart move. The 7 slid all the way up into the track, into the wall. The 13 and the 7 continuing to battle. Oh, and they almost took out the 4 with their shenanigans. 7 definitely getting the worst end of that one.
Clever work from Kevin Roberg to somehow not get turned there and stay in the lead 3. They're not happy about it though.
Yeah, the 7 on the radio to his crew. All right, as we see our leaders battling here, this is the battle for the lead. It'll be coming to 2 to go this time.
We've seen this. Brendan Lyman gets to the low line, but then washes up a little bit. Will that happen again?
Oh, able to hold it a little more tidy. He was more tidy that time.
So Brendan Lyman keeps the low line, but Will Pope a bit more momentum on the high line. Kevin Roberg's been pretty patient all this race. He sits there, rubbing his hands, except both of them are on the wheel. Bit of contact there.
Oh, man. The 16 slid up, the 9 got a piece of him. Then the 4 gave him a little nudge, and I think it's going to let 16 get away and win this thing. I don't think that's exactly how Mr. Lyman planned that, but You know what? It's going to work out for him here, I
Well,
think.
he'll get the white flag when he crosses the line just coming up. I think the draft's strong enough that Kevin Roberg isn't out of this, but definitely coming into the white flag. It waves now for our leader, Brendan Lyman. Kevin Roberg follows him, and Will Pope is in third. I think any three of these could still win it, but definitely if I was a betting man, it'd be on Brendan Lyman right now.
And here comes the 9, really sucking up hard onto that 4. Seems like the 4's tires have just maybe gone away. He wasn't able to make any gains on our leader. The 9 able to now get side by side. This is going to slow down both of them.
If I was Brendan Lyman, I'd be happy seeing that in my mirror because I'm not sure either of them will get a strong run at me from the line. Like that, nope, they don't. I think this race is Brendan Lyman's, but Will Pope just gets the run off the final corner to grab second. That's a great result for them.
That was a great finish. That was, we don't get finishes that great every time. That was the podium. A quarter of a second covered our top 3. Man, that was awesome.
And coming to the white flag, we couldn't be sure who was going to win it, but our winner is Brennan Lyman. And then in second, Will Pope and Kevin Roberg, who is patient all race, rounds out our podium. Do you want to run us down through the remaining positions, Alex?
Sure. Well, I'll just take it from the top. So we have Brennan Lyman is our winner, Will Pope, and Kevin Ross Roberg is third, Devin Goodson fourth, Tristan Francis fifth, Shirley Bates sixth, Timmy Rivers is seventh, Augusto Enriquez is eighth. He was about 8 seconds back. Isaiah Johnson is ninth, 9 seconds back. And in 10th is Hagen Johnson, just on the end of the lead lap. Also racing tonight were Scott Schinnebarger, Harry Stewart, Vanessa Drake, Ellis Forsberg. I think the move of the race was there with 2 to go when Brennan Lyman kind of parked it. And I don't think it was intentional. I think he just got in there too deep. He had to get woed up on the brakes. Pope got in the back of him. Kevin got in the back of Will. And then it just broke everyone's momentum. It allowed the 16 to get away, and that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was a really good race for some of our rookies and our less experienced drivers here because they saw what it can take to be good on an oval in the higher categories of racing. You know, sometimes on an oval, you just got to bide your time, sit in place, look after your tires, and position yourself to be where you need to be when there's 5 laps, 2 laps, and 1 lap left to go. And that's what we saw set up the podium for our podium finishers, is that they had that patience, look after their tires a little bit, and be in the right place when it matters.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I might be a bit of a homer, but this finish was closer than what we saw in the All-Star race the other night. So it doesn't get much better than what you see on Bottom Split Theater. And these folks are the stars of tomorrow. And that's what everyone comes to Bottom Split Theater to see. So I hope you all can tune back in for our next episode, which will be coming out very shortly.
Thank you.
Yep, mahalo.